It all begins with Grandma Tala telling the ancient legend of Te Fiti. Back then, everything lived in perfect harmony because Te Fiti's heart was the source of all life and held incredible power. Many longed to possess it, since it had the power to create life and help everything it touched flourish. Until one day, a demigod decided to steal Te Fiti's heart. He could shapeshift thanks to the power of his legendary magical fishhook, and his name was Maui. Without her heart, Te Fiti was left devastated, and darkness slowly began spreading across the world. Maui tried to escape with the heart, but before he could get away, another powerful enemy who wanted it too stopped him. Te Ka, a terrifying demon made of fire, rock, and lava. The two clashed in a brutal battle until Maui was struck down and thrown into the ocean. As he fell, he lost both Te Fiti's heart and his magical fishhook, disappearing without a trace. Now, 1,000 years later, Te Ka and the monsters of the deep are still searching for the heart. Everywhere they go, they consume the life of one island after another, spreading a darkness that threatens to swallow everything. But the legend says that one day, someone will recover the heart, sail beyond the reef, find Maui, and return Te Fiti's heart to save the world. Grandma tells the story to the village children, including her granddaughter, Moana. But just then, Moana's father steps in to assure everyone that there are no monsters and no darkness, and that no one should ever cross the reef. His words calm the children, but they also make one rule perfectly clear: never cross the reef. He also reminds them that as long as they stay on the island, they'll always be safe. A little later, Moana walks down to the beach and helps a baby sea turtle escape from a flock of seabirds so it can make it to the ocean. Then, something incredible happens. The sea parts before her, as if it were alive. The spirit of the ocean plays with her and finally places a glowing green stone at her feet, the heart of Te Fiti. Moana picks it up in amazement, but at that very moment, her father catches her, causing her to drop the heart before she can understand what just happened. Later, her mother arrives, and together with Chief Tui, they explain that one day she'll become the tribe's next leader, so she must never cross the reef. They also teach her the traditions of her people, the importance of caring for their trees, and the legacy left by their ancestors. We also meet the clumsy but lovable rooster, Hey Hey, who already proves he'll be a constant source of trouble. From that day on, Moana grows up watching the vast ocean from afar. Even though she feels a connection to the sea she can't explain, she respects her father's rules. The only person who lets her go near the shore whenever she wants is her grandmother, who understands that the ocean seems to have chosen her granddaughter for a destiny far greater than anyone could ever imagine. Little by little, her grandmother tells her she must learn to listen to the voice deep inside her and have the courage to follow it. As the years go by, Moana is no longer a little girl and grows into a brave young teenager. Her father takes her to a sacred place reserved only for the chiefs of the tribe. She'll soon come of age, and as part of their tradition, she'll place a stone on top of the mountain, just as her father, her grandfather, and every leader before them once did. He reminds her that she represents the future of their people and that her true place isn't beyond the ocean, but beside her people. That's why she must learn to become the leader everyone needs. And so, she eagerly waits for the day she's finally about to become the new chief of Motunui. Moana spends her days with her adorable little pig, Hua, and the clumsy but loyal rooster, Hey Hey. She helps the people of the island, solves her community's problems, and prepares herself to one day become their leader. At the same time, she keeps practicing the moment she'll place her stone on the sacred mountain. But then, troubling news changes everything in the village. There are no fish left in the lagoon. The palm trees begin to wither and rot, and the crops stop growing. Chief Tui gathers everyone together to explain what's happening. He reminds them that years ago, a hurricane brought enough fish and food to keep them going. But this time, there's no storm to explain why everything is disappearing. That's when Moana comes up with an idea. If there are no fish left in the lagoon, they should sail farther out and fish beyond the reef. But her father immediately shuts the idea down. There's one rule that can never be broken. No one is allowed to cross the reef. Moana insists she's only trying to save her people from starving, but Chief Tui loses his temper and forbids her from ever bringing it up again. Later, her mother explains why her father reacted that way. She tells Moana that when he was young, he also dreamed of exploring the ocean and decided to break the rule. He sailed beyond the reef with his best friend, but a violent storm caught them by surprise. His friend died at sea, and Chief Tui never forgave himself for not being able to save him. Ever since then, the only thing he's wanted is to protect his daughter from suffering the same fate. Even so, Moana keeps walking around the island, watching how every person plays an important role in the community. At the same time, she continues practicing the moment she'll place her stone on the mountain. But when she finally tries to do it, she realizes she can't. Deep down, something tells her this isn't her true path. She can't stop wondering what's waiting beyond the reef. Driven by that feeling, she decides to break the rule. With Pua by her side, she climbs into a canoe and starts paddling out to sea, determined to cross the reef for the very first time. But just as she's about to make it, the unexpected happens. Massive waves appear out of nowhere and violently rock the canoe. Moana and Pua are thrown into the water, and another huge wave flips the boat completely over. In the middle of the chaos, Moana gets tangled in the ropes beneath the surface. After desperately fighting to break free, she barely manages to make it back up for air. With no other choice, she returns to the island defeated, with Pua beside her. When her grandmother sees her, she tries to lighten the mood with a joke, telling her that if anyone asks what happened, she should just blame the little pig. Completely discouraged, Moana asks her grandmother not to tell her father what happened. Convinced he was right all along, she says she doesn't belong on the ocean and that her destiny is simply to place her stone on the mountain. Her grandmother tells her that when her time comes, she hopes to return as a manta ray so she can keep watching over her family. Laughing, she calls herself the village crazy lady, but says there's something important Moana needs to see first. She then leads Moana into the mountains and explains that she knows every story about their people, except one. Then she asks the question that changes everything. Does she really believe none of their ancestors ever dared to sail beyond the reef? Her grandmother tells her to enter a hidden cave, strike an ancient drum, and ask the question herself. Moana does exactly that, and as she walks inside, she discovers dozens of massive canoes hidden in the darkness. In front of them stands the mysterious drum. The moment she strikes it, countless torches burst to life all at once, lighting up the cave and revealing the true history of her people. Before her eyes, she sees her ancestors sailing across the vast ocean. They weren't just the people of a small island. They were great voyagers who crossed the sea, guided by the stars. But when Maui stole the heart of Te Fiti, Te Ka awoke, and darkness began spreading across the world. Countless canoes were lost at sea, and to protect future generations, the ancient chiefs forbade anyone from sailing beyond the reef again. As the centuries passed, their people forgot who they really were, and now the darkness has finally returned to find them. Her grandmother reveals that when Moana was just a little girl, she saw her by the ocean and immediately understood what had happened. The ocean had chosen her for a mission: cross the reef, find Maui, recover the heart of Te Fiti, and return it to its rightful place to save their people. Moana had always believed that memory was nothing more than a dream, but the ocean responds to her once again, proving it was all real. She was the chosen one all along. Without wasting a second, Moana rushes to find her father, only to discover that things have gotten even worse. The crops are still dying, and the island's resources are almost completely gone. Moana insists that the only way to save everyone is to sail beyond the reef, but Chief Tui tells her she isn't the first person her grandmother has shown that hidden cave to. The ancestors sealed that place for a reason, and he insists that opening it again won't solve any of their problems. Just then, their conversation is cut short by terrible news. Grandma is gravely ill. Moana rushes to her side and finds her grandmother in the final moments of her life. With the little strength she has left, Grandma reminds Moana that she must fulfill the mission she was chosen for. She tells her that the ocean chose her, that she must find Maui, recover his magical fishhook, and when she finally meets him, grab him by the ear and proudly say, "I'm Moana of Motunui." Then he'll climb aboard her canoe. The two of them will cross the ocean together, and they'll return the heart of Te Fiti to save the world. Before saying goodbye, she promises that no matter where Moana goes, she'll always be by her side. Then she gives her treasured necklace as a keepsake and a symbol of her faith in her. Determined to fulfill the destiny she was chosen for, Moana heads to the hidden cave, takes one of her ancestors' ancient canoes, and finally sails beyond the reef. At that very moment, her grandmother passes away, and her spirit returns as a giant manta ray, the very creature she had always told Moana about, silently guiding her as her journey begins. As Moana sails across the vast ocean, she keeps practicing the speech she'll give Maui when she finally finds him. Then she realizes she's not traveling alone. The clueless Hei Hei has somehow snuck onto the canoe and seems to be enjoying the trip like nothing's wrong. Night falls, and exhausted from everything that's happened, Moana eventually drifts off to sleep. But she doesn't get much rest because the ocean itself wakes her just as a massive storm begins forming all around her. After surviving the storm, Moana washes up on an island with her canoe completely wrecked. Frustrated by everything she's been through, she even gets mad at the ocean. As she catches her breath, she checks the necklace her grandmother gave her to make sure the heart of Te Fiti is still inside. Luckily, the precious relic is safe. Suddenly, Moana senses someone nearby and quickly hides behind the rocks. But the one who steps out is none other than Maui, the legendary demigod who has been stranded on that island for years. When he spots the wrecked canoe, he also notices the young girl and proudly introduces himself as the hero of men and women. After working up enough courage, Moana tries to deliver the exact speech she'd been practicing throughout her entire journey. But Maui can't stop making fun of her, completely ruining the seriousness of the moment. The demigod insists he got stranded on that island because he was trying to give the heart of Te Fiti back to humanity. So, in his mind, Moana should be thanking him instead of blaming him. Then he breaks into song, proudly showing off all his incredible feats, leaving Moana completely speechless. Taking advantage of her innocence, Maui easily tricks her and locks her inside a cave before sailing away with the canoe. One of Maui's living tattoos, however, clearly disapproves of his decision and reminds him that he shouldn't return to Te Fiti with just some human. First, he needs to recover his powerful magical fishhook. Meanwhile, Moana manages to escape the cave just as Maui is about to leave. The ocean steps in once again and carries her straight back to the canoe. Maui keeps throwing her overboard again and again, but the sea always brings her right back. Even when Maui himself jumps into the ocean to get away, the waves toss him back onto the canoe too, making it clear he won't get rid of her that easily. Moana reminds him that her mission is to return the heart of Te Fiti, but Maui replies that it isn't a heart, it's a curse. He explains that the moment he stole it, Te Ka awakened, he was knocked out of the sky during the battle, and he lost his magical fishhook. That's why he warns Moana never to show the heart again, because its power can draw the attention of even the gods. Right then, the Kakamora, a fierce tribe of tiny raiders, attacks their canoe. Moana quickly realizes they're after the heart of Te Fiti too. The Kakamora manage to steal it and make a run for it, but Moana refuses to give up. Without a second thought, she jumps onto the enemy boats all by herself, takes on the entire tribe, and after a wild chase filled with daring moves, manages to get the heart back. In the end, she causes the Kakamora's boats to crash into each other, defeating them before escaping with Maui. After the battle, Maui explains that if she really wants to return the heart of Te Fiti, she'll first have to face Te Ka, but he makes one thing crystal clear: he's not doing it. Besides believing the mission is far too dangerous, he insists that demigods work alone. Moana doesn't buy it. She reminds him that no one sees him as a hero anymore. Instead, everyone remembers him as the one who stole the heart of Te Fiti and doomed the world to darkness. Moana's words make Maui stop and think. In the end, he agrees to help her, but on one condition: when it's all over, she and her people have to call him a hero again. Before facing Te Ka, Maui decides they first need to recover his magical fishhook. To do that, they'll have to travel to the lair of Tamatoa, a gigantic crab that collects anything shiny or valuable he finds at the bottom of the ocean. As they sail toward their destination, Maui starts teaching Moana how to understand the ocean and use the wind to become a true wayfinder. That night, exhausted from the journey, Moana falls asleep, but she has a terrifying nightmare where she watches the darkness slowly consume her entire island. The crops vanish, her home falls apart, and in the end, even her own parents are overtaken by the corruption. When she wakes up, they discover they've finally reached Tamatoa's lair. Maui explains that he's a massive crab obsessed with collecting anything shiny, rare, or impressive, so there's a good chance his magical fishhook is still hidden there. Without wasting any time, Maui opens the entrance and dives into the depths of the ocean. Even though he planned to go in alone, Moana follows him, convinced she can help. A moment later, Tamatoa appears, the gigantic crab that rules over the underwater kingdom. The instant he spots Moana, he grabs her in his enormous claws and demands the necklace she's wearing. Moana tells him the necklace belonged to her grandmother, but Tamatoa, with his twisted sense of humor, jokes that he ate her grandmother too. Trying to buy some time, Moana starts flattering him, saying she's always admired his incredible treasure collection. Just like Maui warned her, Tamatoa can't resist the compliments and proudly begins showing off. The giant crab tells her that he used to be small and insignificant, but thanks to his obsession with shiny things, he became the king of the ocean floor. Then he casually adds that once he's done telling his story, Moana will be his next meal. Just then, Maui shows up, determined to get his magical fishhook back. He tries to transform into a powerful hawk, but something goes wrong. Instead of taking the right form, he accidentally keeps turning into different animals, proving he's lost control of his powers. Tamatoa can't stop laughing at him as he proudly bursts into songs about his massive treasure collection. While the crab is distracted by Maui, Moana quietly searches the cave. Among all the glittering treasures, she spots something glowing with a light almost identical to the heart of Te Fiti. That's when she comes up with a clever plan. Knowing Tamatoa can't resist anything shiny, she holds up the real heart of Te Fiti, instantly grabbing his full attention. The giant crab abandons Maui and desperately chases after Moana. During the chase, Moana pretends to trip and drops a shiny object to fool him. Convinced he's finally got the heart, Tamatoa dives straight for it, never realizing it was only a decoy. Meanwhile, Moana keeps the real heart of Te Fiti and, together with Maui, escapes with the magical fishhook. The moment Tamatoa realizes he's been tricked, he charges after them in a rage. Even so, the two manage to get away before he can catch them. Once they're finally safe, Maui grows quiet and looks deeply shaken. Moana asks him what's wrong and also wonders about the meaning of his tattoos. Maui says they simply appear every time he accomplishes a new great feat, but he avoids saying anything more. Moana realizes it's something personal and tells him he doesn't have to talk about it. But she also reminds him that if they don't return the heart of Te Fiti, her people will disappear. At last, Maui decides to open up. He confesses that he wasn't born a demigod. He actually had human parents who never wanted him and abandoned him when he was just a baby, throwing him into the ocean. The gods found him, took pity on him, gave him his legendary magical fishhook, and turned him into a demigod. With his new powers, he returned to help humanity. He created islands, made coconut trees grow, and gave countless gifts to people. He even stole the heart of Te Fiti, believing it would be the greatest gift of all. He did it because he wanted to earn people's love and acceptance, but no matter how much he gave them, it never seemed to be enough. Moana tells him the ocean chose him because it saw someone worthy of its trust. That part of him didn't come from the gods or from his magical fishhook. It had always been inside him. Meanwhile, back on Motunui, Chief Tui stands before the sacred mountain of stones, staring out at the ocean, wondering if he'll ever see his daughter again. Maui also reveals that long ago, he sailed alongside Moana's ancestors. He explains that the necklace passed down by her grandmother once belonged to Motunui's very first great wayfinder. Inspired by her, he admits he'd love to see those people sailing the seas again someday. Not long after, they finally arrive at the island of Te Fiti. Without wasting a moment, Maui says goodbye to Moana and decides to face Teika alone to clear a path for her. He tries to dodge her attacks by transforming into different animals, but his powers keep failing, and none of his transformations turn out the way he expects. Forced to fall back, Maui returns to Moana and tells her they need to give up before it's too late. But Moana refuses to quit. Convinced they can still do it, she insists on giving it one more try. Instead, everything goes terribly wrong. During the fight, Maui's magical fishhook takes a devastating hit and is badly damaged. The moment he sees the deep cracks running through the weapon the gods gave him, he realizes that if he uses it again, he could lose it forever. Moana tries to encourage him by pointing out that they now know Teika can't chase them across the water. But Maui doesn't want to keep going. He explains that if his fishhook is damaged again, it'll stop working forever, and without it, he'll lose all of his powers. Certain he can't take that risk, he abandons the mission, leaving Moana completely alone. Heartbroken and in tears, Moana tells the ocean she's not the right person for this mission. She believes it made a mistake by choosing her and asks it to find someone else. Then she hands the heart of Te Fiti back to the ocean. But moments later, her grandmother's spirit appears as a giant manta ray, just as she had promised. Moana tells her she did everything she could, but it still wasn't enough. Then her grandmother tells her that if she wants to go back home, she'll always support her. But first, she has to listen to the voice inside her heart. As she begins to sing, Moana remembers everything she's been through. The spirits of her ancestors appear, sailing beside her and reminding her of who she truly is. Filled with new determination, she dives to the bottom of the ocean to recover the heart of Te Fiti and decides to finish the mission. Ready for the final battle, Moana sails straight toward the island. Using all her skill, she outsmarts Te Fiti and makes it through the wall of fire. But a powerful blast sends the heart flying from her hands, though Hei manages to grab it. Another massive ooter flips the canoe over. Just as Te Fiti is about to strike Moana, Maui unexpectedly returns. He takes on the monster, slices off one of its lava arms, and buys her enough time to keep going. Before jumping back into the fight, he admits he never should have left her. While Maui keeps Te Fiti distracted, Moana reaches the place where Te Fiti should be, only to discover that the goddess is gone. Then she notices that Te Fiti's silhouette matches the shape of the heart, and she finally realizes the truth. Te Fiti and Te Fiti are one and the same. Moana asks the ocean to part, and as Te Fiti approaches, she places the heart against her chest. The moment she does, the lava disappears, and Te Fiti returns to her true form, restoring the balance of nature. The darkness fades away, and life begins to flourish once again. The ocean brings Maui and Hei safely back. Maui apologizes to Te Fiti, who rewards him with a brand new magical fishhook. Grateful for this second chance, the demigod gladly accepts it. Before they say goodbye, Moana invites Maui to visit Motunui and help her people rediscover their ancient traditions as voyagers. A brand new tattoo of Moana appears on the demigod's arm. When Moana returns to Motunui, she finds the island completely restored. Her parents welcome her home with pride, and Pua happily runs to greet her. During her ceremony, instead of placing a stone on the mountain, Moana sets down a seashell, symbolizing her people's rebirth as great voyagers. From a distance, Maui watches over the celebration in the form of a bird. Finally, the people of Motunui sail across the ocean once again in their canoes, exploring new islands just like their ancestors once did. And that's how Moana comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. See you next time.